Hi lovely people, my name is Ekezie. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Ekezie. Today I'm somewhere in Shanghai, in the middle of Shanghai. I'm at a place called Jian Temple. It's an African Tech Summit. I think it's going to be fun. I think they have about 2 speakers and 1 speaker from Alibaba and another speaker. I don't really have all the details, but then I'm going to shoot everything for you. Right now they are doing some networking stuff over there, so I'm just going to show you around.
Moving on to you, I mean, we spoke briefly the other day, not to give too much away about your background, but Wody moved to Shanghai 10 years ago? 12 years ago? And you said it to me, and somebody else has said to me over the last 2 days, that African tech is currently at a point where what like Chinese technology ecosystem was 10, 12 years ago. You know, things were quite maybe a lot less developed. What are your thoughts on the African ecosystem now and where it is?
Well, I just thought to talk about a bit how I got to know Andrew, because linked to the answer to that question, I was really looking at, after 12 years in China, I mean, we saw the early excitement when you had to pay everything in cash, and then now you don't see cash from us. So I just wanted to see something different. Then I went to Kigali for the Africa Tech Summit, and I was really blown away by the quality of the startups that I saw there. And then I just thought, wow, this is how I felt when I came in China the first time in 2005. I just felt like something is in the building, something is in the making. And I thought, oh, how can we actually bring China did something amazing. I mean, there are a lot of things we can say about it, but it's nothing short of amazing what they did in the past 12 years. And in many ways, Africa is similar. There is no copy-pasting, but it's similar in the sense that we are just leaping technologies. We're not waiting for getting into banking. We're switching directly to mobile banking. And we're not waiting to have I don't know, the internet. We're just looking for the next 5G probably. We're going to start with this one. So in many ways, I think innovation in Africa and how technology is moving in Africa is very similar to China. And I believe it's going to be even faster because they will have the learning curve from the other actors such as the Chinese.
Danny, moving on to you. I mean, you've had a foot in China, and you're also, you know, starting a fintech company focused in Cameroon. Let's be honest. I mean, it's different landscapes for startups. I mean, the landscape here for startups seems to be very, very good in terms of support, good internet, good facilities. Let's talk about a startup in Cameroon, maybe hanging around in Silicon Mountain.
Actually, just a little story to answer your question about sharing stories. So 2 years ago, I was in Cameroon, and I was talking to one of my friends, and he was sharing me a story that, hey, you know, about this place, you know, there's this guy. The name was actually a close friend of mine at last week. He said these are the guys who are actually pioneers of what you just called the Silicon Mountain. So I was listening very keenly because he was calling the business. He said, do you know DC Iconics? So I said, yeah, I know the business. And he said, yeah, these are the guys who are the founders of Silicon Mountain. So I stopped him. I said, do you know what D stands for? He said, no. I said, that's my first name. And the C is my first name. So he said, oh my God. Then I realized in retrospect, I was the founder of what has become the Silicon Mountain, which is a tech hub in Cameroon. Now, just back to your question. The tech, you know, Africa, we are still developing. In China, the sale of mobile phones, smartphones is slowing down actually. But in Cameroon, it's increasing 20% year on year. So while you are slowing down, we are accelerating. And right now, many people keep thinking, oh, the internet is slow, this is slow. Well, it's part of the challenges that we are embracing. But in 5 years' time, if you're an investor and you invest today, in 5 years' time, you're going to have a huge return. You know, if you look back, and you've been here for a long time, 12 years ago, Taobao, many people were paranoid to use their bank card. Now, you just link it because it's part of the way you live. So it's a similar thing. It's about the first first come, the early bird advantage. If you're an investor, I think it's a good time now before the market gets saturated. And that's actually one of the reasons why I prefer Central Africa, because everybody keeps looking towards Kenya, Tanzania, the East African side, but the Western side is still a virgin land, and if you start now, you have a huge market. In fact, our project is already targeting 500 million people. So if you give me 10% of 500 million people, I'm still very good with it. Yeah, I give you some numbers. We are thinking about processing over $44 billion just by dealing with these countries, and you say, oh, the internet is slow. But that's the reality. The people who succeed in Africa will never tell you. You'll not be sitting here today because they are busy making money. So these challenges are some of the realities that as an entrepreneur you need to tackle. There are opportunities. As the Chinese say, crisis is what? Danger and opportunity, right? So we find the opportunity there. Thank you.
Yeah, moving on to George. Going from the other angle, how easy was it for you as an African to start up a business in China?
I wouldn't say it's easy. I'll just say because you should find a team first. Because I found a team, a very good team, which I think I can trust. And this team are actually all friends, or maybe people who you study with or people who you work with. So we found a great team, and then afterwards we just we found one person from that team who is, because for foreigners it's gonna be very, very hard to actually start a real business in China, maybe because the policy is kind of different. So what we did is that we used one of our friends who's a Chinese, and she agreed to be part of our team and open this company. So she agreed on this, and this is how we begin from there.
Okay. Kenneth, you didn't have much time to talk about talent, and I think it's a really, I mean, we spoke some time ago around it, and we've the likes of Mandela, we've got Diabate who are currently spending lots of money on training coders. How much of a lack of talent are we looking at in Africa right now to build this tech ecosystem? Because all the companies I speak to, it's like they raise money, but they can't get the talent. And in fact, Mandela has almost been blamed for a brain drain. So they're training the best of African talent, and that African talent is then being swallowed up by Facebook and Google and taken off to Silicon Valley. So how do we, what is number one, the depth of talent that we're currently looking at, and what's Africave going to do about it?
Absolutely. So for those of you who don't know about what Mandela is, it's a software training school / recruiting firm that trains software engineers in Nigeria, Kenya, and some countries in Africa, and then exports them eventually to Silicon Valley for them to work for teams. And they are focused specifically on technology. And like you said, there's been an accusation that Mandela is, taking the best of the best. Because if you look at the records for example, the assessment system that Mandela uses, they get reports from there like these are the top 2% of talent in the world. People who are some of the brightest who are taking assessments on this platform. So for Africa to meet its talent demand, let's say Mandela focuses on technology. Maybe we have to replicate Mandela for every single industry that exists. That's definitely not easy. Currently, Mandela has less than 2,000 people in its pipeline. It's been around for 5 years. It has so much scale. So 2,000 people out of less than 500 million African youths, you're not even scratching the surface. So to answer the question directly, there's a huge need for startups, and a lot of companies are doing this internally by themselves. So for example, Jumia, which is called it the Amazon of West Africa, has built out a university where it's training its own middle management team for them to manage their own businesses. So for businesses to win in Africa, they have to firstly really think about building out long-term resilience, and one of the ways you can build out long-term resilience is investing in talent, betting on talent that will build out business for the long term. And so General Electric, there are various oil companies who are internally building out their own systems. But specifically for Africave, one of the questions we've gotten is, why don't you start out with a particular niche? But I think we are trying to build out generalists, so people who have diversified interests and want to go into various industries. So hopefully these people have been trained at various universities and have gone through various programs. And when they come into the platform, we also provide them technical training, especially training on leadership, and for them to be people who can manifest incredible careers and for entrepreneurial success too. So there's a huge need for companies to think a lot more about investing in talent and finding the best talent. So we are definitely not there by any stretch.
What's the target? How many businesses, how many African companies are you looking to get on the platform, say, by next year, the year after?
Okay, so good question, because I would say the pilot project that I started was initiated in July 2018. So I started this project in July 2018, and then in October 2018, we had the very first coffee products being sold on Tmall. So those coffee products were actually sold from 3 Rwandan coffee companies. And now I'm looking at expanding not only the volume of coffee that we're selling through Tmall. So now if you go on Tmall, you will search for Rwanda or something like that, and you will see coffee from Rwanda in the categories. So my goal is really to not only expand the coffee offering from Rwandan brands into the Chinese market, but it's also to expand the categories at which we're selling the products from Africa into the Chinese market. So I can't tell you an exact number, but we started with 3 Rwandan coffee companies, and now we're moving to actually onboarding a lot more. And that's really how we look at empowering the local economies to become more independent to sell their products to Chinese consumers.